Hey, what's going on? We live right now. Yo. Man, oh man. Yo,
what
we gonna talk about what's up, Illitant. You filling in for Pro for a minute for me, brother? I appreciate you.
Sure.
Yeah, he's like, what the hell's going on? So what happened is that Pro done traveled like 17,000 miles to get here today, and you know, he's in the background doing some really cool poetry contests representing Lowell with our brothers Miguel and Preacher. And I'll tell you what, he spit 3 incredible poems, bro. Illitant, Don Juan, y'all got to hear that, you know, pieces of it. And yeah, he gonna be here in a minute. Probably be here in a minute. He's sitting right next to me. I can't hear nothing. Huh? Oh, Miguel's coming up too. Yeah, Miguel, Preacher. Everybody gonna be in the house tonight. It's a special night. Our special guest is Professor Lyrical for sure, and we in a new environment. You know,
Yeah,
his environment's different. Yeah, bro. We over Ma Duke's house right now, and just working. But tell me what you got going on, Elton. What's going on, brother?
Oh man, I've been pushing beats like crazy, man. Like I wasn't getting anywhere like a few months ago pushing these things, and then ended up getting Arcade by Output, and I just really started working as much as I could with it, and started really picking up like how to use this for real. So now that I've got like the editing of these loops down a little bit, I'm actually able to really start producing things that rappers want to get on, and I've sold like
that last beat you sent me.
Yeah, I sold like another 5 yesterday, bro.
That's what's up, man. He got heat, and Ma Dukes keeps kicking the light out. Yo, that reset button, you gotta, yeah, yo, that's killing the show, mama. No, mama, show your face real quick. Come here, show your pretty face. This is my mother. Yeah, she gave birth to me. I know she looked mad young. Elton said hi, mom.
Hi.
He's gonna be there Sunday with us. He's part of the second and none click. You know, they being a hostess. But
just trying to feed my boys.
That's
it.
Peace out.
Peace out, mama. Love you. Oh, Don, come see it on the clip. I'll send you the clip.
He's muted.
Oh, Don,
yeah, I was muted anyway. I just said hi, mom. Mom looks good. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, bro. Trust me, she's had some crushes. I've had some friends. I said, yo, you step next to my mom's, bro. You don't want crews to unleash on you. But yo, in all honesty, Elton, I'm excited for Sunday, man.
Me too, man.
We reserved a little VIP table. Gonna have some merch there. Definitely gonna be doing some pretty cool tracks that we got off of the album. Excited for everybody to hear.
Yeah, man, I'm pumped.
It was dope. I like the set. It almost could be done like with straight up drums, like, you know what I mean, live band stuff. You know, I mean, we're not gonna have that, but it has that feel, you know, and hopefully the mix is coming through the way I'm envisioning it, and the performances are gonna be lit, bro. I'm excited.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. It's been like, it's been like, I want to say almost 8 months, like to the day, since I've done a show. So It's gonna be crazy, man. I'm so pumped to get back on stage. I feel like it's literally been forever since I've had a mic in my hand. So
Yeah, it's tough. It is, man. I went crazy for a little while. Not so crazy, but crazy enough to drive to New York twice to do some stuff at like midnight and then drive back, and go to work the next day to
damn.
test. Yeah, get into some events. And it was cool, man. I got a lot of love when I did that. But that was about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But I never had a problem going on stage. I'm lucky in that sense. I think it's just because I've spent so much time on the craft and I have it down so well that I don't really have any fear factors with it. My
Yeah.
blood pressure might go up for about 2 seconds, and then it's like, yo, you get this. You know what I'm saying? Yo.
Yeah. Oh no, that happens to
Yeah.
me, man. Like I have really bad social anxiety. So like if I'm in places with a lot of people, like my anxiety
Yeah.
starts skyrocketing. But the moment I
Yeah.
step on a stage, everything goes away.
That's
Like
dope.
the moment I come back off
Especially
stage,
when
though,
you're
I'm
getting
like,
the love back. When the love starts coming back to you in that energy, when they're like, yo, and they're
Yeah.
feeling it. And like you told me, homeboy does his first live performance, and the second hook, they all singing the hook with him. Like,
Yeah.
that's a good feeling right there. That energy is like, that goes a long way. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that
So yeah,
that
bro.
was a situation that's never happened with me before. Like
Mm.
it was like when I knew that like I could like as soon as that second hook came around and I could hear everybody in the crowd, like see everybody in the crowd doing it, I was like, whoa, like my whole perspective on stage performances changed after that day.
Facts. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's all about the energy, and what you put out is what you get back usually.
Yeah.
And yeah, Gary, look, man, I told you, man, my mom's done had some crushes when I was growing up, bro. I was like, bro, I can't say no names. I'm gonna keep that hush. Yeah, man, because you know who you is, the few of you.
Yeah, you don't want to be name dropping.
Yeah, we ain't gonna be dropping them names out there, but you know who you are. Yeah, man. I got lucky with that. Good genes. Hopefully, I get to say that when I'm her age. Pro does. Pro does. Yeah, I know, man. Pro's lucky as hell, man, because he can pass as my brother for real, like a few years older brother.
All right, let's see if I lost one.
Let's see if the who?
If I lost.
Oh, if you lost, he's about to find out if he wins or loses. But I'm telling you, man. Let's see. Silence of the Lambs. People. Turning my mic up. Nothing. There's a countdown going on. We just don't know the time it started at.
Oh man, the suspense is killing me.
Isn't it? What's that sound effect? Down, 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 down. I might start doing that. That might be a new thing. No, people that I'll be biting. That's old school, man.
Jeopardy theme
already
song,
ran
I'm
that
pretty
out.
sure.
Yeah, that's it. And he was on Wheel of Fortune. Pro Lyrical won. Yeah.
Did he?
Congratulations.
Yeah.
He did.
Congrats, man.
Pro deserved every ounce of this. Yo, hustling. He was
Jay's broadcasting part of your show live, so you guys are on the ProQuo Show right now.
Yeah, you are. We appreciate you.
I appreciate that. It was good. I wish I could have actually got more time to hear every single performance, which is something I usually try to do because I'm one thing that inspires me is getting to hear all the poets, hearing other MCs, people that just master the craft. It's super encouraging. I look forward to being able to play this back and actually get to hear everything instead of just catching pieces of it. I hate to be only half in and half out like that. So, but I appreciate you guys for giving me the opportunity, and that always means a lot.
We probably gonna have to come down Sunday to give you these gift certificates.
Oh man, I'll have to see if there's any in there that I might be able to in turn donate back. So if there's some worthy folks out there, I appreciate it.
We be going crazy.
But I feel like it's also about trying to.
This is the quietest it's really been on this show ever.
If that isn't, if that doesn't.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet.
Come off the wrong way, but I'd be happy to donate.
My mic is aiming this way, so we ain't picking too much of Pro. I love this, man.
We'll talk later on how I'm gonna get that to you and how you want to give it back.
Cool.
He's gonna talk to us about that when he gets on.
Oh yeah, definitely. I want to hear more about it.
Yeah.
I only caught like the last like minute or so, maybe less of what he was spitting.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yo, Kendall, what's up, girl? I'm trying to be quiet because Pro's on a live right now. And we on a live too, but he just won. That's right, Hip Hop Citizen. Congrats, Pro Lyrical, on your award.
Yeah.
Great achievement. He always takes you like the places he takes you, the pictures he paints, you know, it's so easy to follow. And it's always like, damn, where he just took you, you know what I mean? And it's not a rabbit trail, you know, or a rabbit hole. It's like clear vision, very precise. Is that my phone going on? Oh no, that was you, Elton, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was me.
That's all good. Thank you for tuning in, Kendall. Love your post, by the way, as always. Every time I see him, I'm like, man, the YouTube videos were on point too, for real. So again, very special moment, people. Let me get into that Barry White voice. Let me talk to y'all like this real quick. So we appreciate everybody that's been following, you know, the ProQuo Show since we started. Everybody that's been participating on the 5 Minutes of Flames, all the great people we've interviewed, from all walks of life, politicians, personal development type people, artists of all types, really cool stuff. And of course, my man Don Juan in the back, running the show so smoothly with us and being such a, you know, IB Hood man. He's doing this thing. We about to have a bunch of people coming on, yo.
We're all actually live right now. It's the ProQuo Show. If you go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/.
Yeah, so Elton, talk to us, man. Take some of this time.
Hip Hop Citizens Facebook page.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Right now, I'm kind of keeping the writing stuff on the back burner a little bit. Obviously, I'm still, you know, producing my own music and whatnot, but I had to kind of take a little retirement from writing because I knew there was some aspects in my career that I didn't, you know, stuff that I was missing that I didn't necessarily have. And so I'm kind of taking the time back, you know, away from releasing music to kind of focus more on those aspects in order to get my career where it should be right now. Like, you know, there was a lot that, like I told Felix when I first jumped into Second to None that, you know, I had to learn all this myself. I didn't have anybody to teach me how to do, you know, things the right way. So it seemed like I always took, you know, the rougher path to get to where I was supposed to go. But in turn of doing that, it gave me the knowledge I needed in order to do it right, you know, later on down the road, you know, and help other people do it the right way. So,
yeah,
but now that I've noticed some of these aspects,
the artist development.
Yeah, the artist development thing. Which I got two artists in there right now. I got a Hyperion and Nervy. But you know, it gives me the ability
to.
On
last week, y'all. He came in on the 5 Minutes of Flame last week. 15 years old. Real bright, man.
So I mean, as of right now, I just got to focus more on like the marketing, you know, branding, you know, more of interacting with people. That way, you know, I can actually push the brand out there to people and actually be able to get the music in front of people that are, you know, gonna listen to it. And at the same time, I'm engineering for artists out here, you know, I'm producing beats for other artists, you know, just trying to put my name anywhere I can right now. So it's nice to actually be able to interact with more of these local cats out here because, you know, getting my beats in front of these guys out here locally, you know, will not only push my beat production, but push my engineering and my music as well. So I'm just trying to capitalize on everything right now.
Let me ask you something too. I mean, what's real cool about you, man, is that you talk about, you've mentioned it multiple times, like to me, and it's important, is the social anxiety, like how right now you're overcoming it because you put the work in to break out of that, but you still, in your nature, it's there, but you figured out how to do it. You know what I mean? Talk to us about that. Like how did that happen for you? Where it was like, yo, I know I have to do it. Like, what do I, you know what I mean?
It was, well, for me, like, so I had to explain this to a lot of people, you know, obviously throughout my career, like, holding jobs for me has always been super difficult because I have such a creative mind that I don't want to get stuck in this loop of doing the same exact thing every day repetitively because I get bored of things easy. So I constantly need something to, you know, feed the active mind, you know, something that's constantly going to make me learn and constantly, you know, push me to do more. So I really, you know, to overcome the anxiety, I just had to realize that, you know, if I don't do this, how am I going to put food on the table? If I don't do this, how am I going to pay the rent? Like, it was kind of a, you know, I got to either jump in with, you know, excuse my language, but I either had to shit or get off the pot. So, I decided to shit, you know, jump in with both feet and really, you know, try to get stuff done, really push it. So
we probably gonna have a good. Oh yeah, we having an echo. Yo,
this ain't gonna work. We're gonna be
this ain't. Yeah, brother.
Are you guys hearing that echo too? You must be.
Hell yeah, they hearing that.
Is everything hearing that? You hearing that massive echo?
Let me see what I do.
Oh, I can hear it. It's crazy.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Let me turn my mic off.
Yeah, but still, let's see what happens. So it's okay now. All right, Pro, do a mic check for me. Mic check 1 2. This is how it's gonna be at the show. Mic check 1 2.
Ellington, you hearing echo?
Not anymore.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to do it like that. It's all good. We'll click, clickety, click. So yo, hold up. While we have the man who just won the poetry slam competition representing Low, we're gonna have him talk about that real quick. Pro, tell us what just happened.
Yeah, man. That was cool. We just got to do a little poetry thing. It was like a spoken word slam online for representing for the Merrimack Valley. So they asked me to rep for Lowell, which I was always happy to do. But yeah, just got in, did that. This was going on, Quo. It was kind of crazy. Your mom got the pizza going. I mean, it's just crazy. This is like in the secret location here in the Ville. You know, it's crazy is I live 3/4 of a mile from here for like 7, 8 years. Not what am I talking about? Yeah, like 7, 8 years, something like that. And I was like never over here.
In walking distance?
Yeah, dog. It's dude. It's not even like 3/4 of a mile. But anyways, yeah, that thing was real cool. I think Miguel's gonna come by. Hopefully, some of the poets do. We invited them to come through too, and on a National Poetry Month. So it's always a blessing to be able to do the art and do some spoken word. You know, we gotta do some spoken word in our show.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yo, is you have the echo box on maybe? Are you
no,
still getting
it's
an
off.
echo from him?
I can hear both of you right now.
That's the thing. He's gonna hear me on the mic, on whatever
So
mic
I'm
is
gonna
on.
keep my mic off.
Okay.
It's working, right?
It's Pro, your mic might need to come up. It's like you're like in the distance.
Got you. I think I know why. Let me try to switch that around.
Technical difficulties. This is like it's our first show.
Absolutely, it was the first show from here. That's for sure. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. I don't know if that's any better, but it might take a minute. Hold on.
So for everybody, we got the most official, unofficial sponsorship. When you gotta have some headphones on your head, you need to.
What?
Oh, there we go. That sounds
real
nice. You sound crispy.
That sounds better now.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice and
When I do
crispy.
this.
Just the
How
echo.
about me now? Yo.
You're good.
Now turn you back on.
1 2 1 2.
1 2 1 2. No. Yes, sir. It's all good. Ellington, you want to actually, Pro, just say what you were saying again. We didn't get the whole thing.
Oh, I don't even know. I was saying, yeah. So MCs are coming up. I was saying we don't get to do a spoken word. Spoken word is dope. I can try to do. You want me to try to do the piece? Let me try to do what I did.
I think you should do the third.
Yo, I would love to hear
third one?
that.
Do the third
All right.
one, man.
All right, I'll try this one. So this is I kind of blended a couple things together, but let me start with this. It goes out like this. What inspires you? I mean, like, what do you aspire to? Can you think of a place and time that you'd like to retire to? If you can, then I admire you, but I cannot lie to you because I am not in the frame of mind where I'm even trying to. Think about the future that our leaders may conspire to when the highest of them all was always kind of like, you're fired, dude. So here is what I've tried to do. Find the right attire to convey to you my passion goes beyond a simple tire tube. I'd rather find a tire tube. Slip and slide on a ride or two at a water park, but I'm not going to start, just act like I'm required to. Take the 2 weeks paid on some vacation in the shade, then act like I am something other than a modern slave. Of course there are no chains. I'm not degrading that reality. I'm just simply pointing out we all are jumping over salaries. So where's the liberation when our vocation or our trade is so totally consuming we consume from where we're paid? Where we're still afraid to break the chains of our oppressors. And it starts for me each day when I place my chain upon the dresser. Will I reach for something boring or the Jordans that are fresher? The snapback and a t-shirt or the sport coat and a sweater? Sometimes we let our voices in our head become our bosses that tell us how to dress and think and act inside our office. The point I hope I'm making is the bondage can be mental, and it trickles down to rappers choosing words on instrumentals. We act like we're compelled to follow rules and make decisions based on policies and codes that oftentimes are never written, just to fit into a mold that we have cast upon ourselves, on some cookie cutter templates that we bury on our shelves, bury in our souls inside a shell of our true selves that we rarely show to others for a fear of losing wealth, a fear of losing safety for exposing who we are. So our Superman stays hidden, all we give him is our Clark, and our Spider-Man stays hidden and all we give him is Peter Parker or Matt Damon. And we don't need a Wonder Woman to wonder what a woman offers. Several authors masquerade as just the faculty, and they hide their superpowers they've acquired somewhat naturally. Because rhymers actually, to me, with all their substance, have more superhero in them than the entire hall of justice. So shall we crumble by letting somebody else judge us? Or will we stay socially conscious, letting nobody come bully or budge us? Because you cannot be a buttress or pillar for social justice when the subjects you discuss come complete with a but list. Like, you can get with this, but you would never trust this. You can get with that, but this ain't how you function. See the gumption it takes to come and make such an assumption of which subjects you subject all of your loyal subjects. What's suspect are advocates who sort of pick and choose which type of equality it is that fits their views, for which they highly advocate to click and give them views politically or religiously as they sit on stump or pews. While the world is stuck on Trump to give their advertisers views, half the world was stuck on stupid, but our students must refuse. Because you was not an activist if you were just an actor that's progressive part and parcel for the roles that you were active with. In other words, hypocrisy should not be public policy. You cannot be progressive and be fine with the misogyny. You cannot preach diversity and talk about equality when part of your agenda lacks a gender-focused policy. As members who are probably supported economically in Congress for the longest stretch of time, then stretch the honesty up like a contortionist, distorting all the facts, and they blurring what's important, throwing the donors off the tracks. In fact, you are the problem when you're watching on the news if you're laughing, cracking jokes as women are hashing out Me Too. So we should hash this out right here and now for all to view, for those who simply get their news from watching Fox or on The View. Like who? Got on them Louboutins or the fanciest pair of Gucci's when they letting on any Dick or Tom or these Anthony Scaramucci's. We truly need alternatives from our news and from our journalists to push back against the hatred and the racists and the murdering, supplying that counter narrative we've been searching for at long last when Universal's NBC, which was GE, stolen by Comcast. See, it's hard to know the contracts and the ownership percentages and what's in our best interest as consumers. Who's protecting us? So here's what my suggestion is. Go hard because life is short, and just consider all them sources for them causes you support. Low applaud.
Ooh.
Yep.
Low applaud, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's
Damn.
a little bit.
He went in.
Anyways, that was kind of a
Yo,
quiet.
every time I hit the bottom, the focus was 7 columns. Turning up the volume loud and clear, that's for my darlings. Not caring's what I really fear. I watch my daughters catch their vibe, then I start to hear. Freedom in thyself is how you won't follow the domineer. Believing in your wealth create the diamond they could never steal. Inebriated to a drunken state with water in his fair. I pray for air to let you breathe. His cap knees, I'd rather take the chair. Buy the mask, please. Hope they all appear. Without the mask, please, because I'm the illest up in here. I don't draft the rap weave. I splash the ash where the track leads. Make the past bleed on the fact. I give you what your soul needs. Lift you out of postries. Start getting your groceries. Stimulated like the check I invested for more cheese. Yeah, we stimulated. All that. I'm invigorated. All cap. Crews innovated. Not black, but my family keep it demonstrated. It's raw rap uninseminated. To this womb, they call it tomb. I got vindicated. Hip hop forever.
Jay Cruz.
Yeah, I just had to
Damn.
you know.
Bro, like I wish I knew how to write like that. Like the way that you guys put words together is crazy, man.
You have it, bro.
Crazy.
You have it, bro. It's all, we got some years on you. That's it. You just got to keep at it. Because trust me, when I was your age, I wasn't writing like that.
That's a bad man right there. I heard that man right there. What you talking about?
Damn straight. Right there. Let's say bad, yo. Yo, how that pizza, pro?
Yo, this is the official sponsor. My Dukes.
That's Ray's. No, what does he say? Ray's
like
the feta, man. Yeah, the feta spinach. Actually, I don't think he got the feta on it. The feta makes it level up.
What's that?
Parmesan.
Oh, okay.
The feta. The next one.
I just looked at it and was assuming feta.
It's that real stuff.
What it is, Ellington? What's up with this show, man?
Yeah, man. Talk about it again. And just so everybody knows that ProQuo together in one, like he's right there. I'm right here. This is the first time in the show we've had ourselves together. We get a lot of echoes and feedback, but we made sure we worked for the people tonight because Pro done traveled 17 million hours in one day. Okay, he crossed the planet to come over here today to do this show. Look, see, he's right there. That's my mama's fridge right there downstairs. But yeah, yo, Ellington, talk about it, brother.
Well, I don't really know like the whole lineup of who's performing. I just know that the show is gonna be crazy. I know Felix had to get some more tickets, and at this point, I'm pretty sure we are 100% sold out, and I don't think anybody else can get in there right now.
Wow, that's great.
But it's gonna be crazy, man. I know we got Tony Voorhees coming down.
Yo, shout out.
We got Gorilla Smooth and all the Gorilla Gang coming up. I just know the show's
meeting with Hyperion. I'm gonna try to meet with him before the show.
Yeah, he's supposed to be. What did he say? He was getting there at like 6:30 or something. 6.
Oh, cool. Yeah. We'll stay connected with him too, because we have a jam packed from here on out to the show. We probably gonna be going out at like 9:30. We're gonna try to hang out the whole time, but Pro got a long trek ahead of him that night.
Yeah.
So he's going back to Virginia.
Oh boy.
After that, yeah, he's a trooper. He's a beast, man. But this is what you got to do. So we was talking about earlier, the sacrifices, It's these things. What you know about the sacrifices, man. That's like I imagine this. Your boy tells you, yo, we got to do the show in New York, man. All right. But we got to go. We got to drive down there and we're driving back. Okay. You got to work the next day. Yeah, no doubt. You get home, you get an hour sleep. You definitely can't be drinking because you got to work the next day.
Oh, yeah.
So, you get that hour sleep going to work, the worst day of your life kind of feeling. And then you come home and you just hit that pillow. But that's the sacrifice of how much you want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we did a few shows like that. Obviously not last year, but the year before. I remember I was landscaping at that time. I remember we did a show like super late. Like the show went till like 2:00 in the morning on a Friday night, and I had to work Saturday morning, and like I ended up not even going to bed because we got back at like 2:30 in the morning, and then I had to be at the job at like 6:00. So like I went home, showered to try to wake myself up a little bit, changed my clothes, and went right into work. So
yeah,
it was
you
rough.
Get it. Yo, by the way, I love that poster.
Yeah, this one, the one right behind me.
Yeah, I love that. That's dope, man.
Yo, it's actually a blanket. It's just
really?
it's like a small blanket.
Wow.
I want to shout out Gary because I appreciate him saying that I'm Matt Damon's cooler twin brother.
Yeah, Gary, shout out showing up every time we on, man. We love you, bro.
Appreciate that.
Definitely.
Matt and I go way back too.
Yeah.
For real. We really do.
I know y'all were in, was it School Ties?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, school ties.
Mhm.
See Pro in there. Go back, check some of them scenes out. You're gonna see the 6'4" Jolly Green Giant
with hair.
with the.
I mean, I got hair, but it's like
You still got a hairline,
Yeah.
bro. My hairline starts like in the middle now. You know what I mean? That's why I bick it. I bick it.
Well, I keep it short for simplicity, but I had to grow it for that movie. I had to have it out long, and they were like, "You have to look like a '50s person." My mom was telling me back then. She was like, "You look like Matt Damon." I was like, "I don't see it," and people say it all the time. I know, I sort of see it, but it's not like twin brother. And then I get what's his name, John Cena, all the time, which I don't either see. But I guess that's what
I definitely see Matt Damon though.
Yeah, the Matt
people
Damon.
stop me and they go, "Hey, John Cena."
Yo, I'm gonna go get my other cup of
I'm
Joe.
too fat right now.
I'll be right back. Y'all two chop
I
it
gotta
up.
give
while
you
I
the John
drink a
Cena
cup of
look.
Joe. Come on, Cena.
I think I have to make the face, man. But yeah, so show's gonna be jumping. How many people can go in there? What, 100 people total? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I was told 100-person max capacity.
Right.
I mean, that we could end up having tickets at the door still. I mean, I don't really know.
Right.
As far as I knew, we were 100% sold out.
I was
But
telling Jay, I was like, originally, I was just coming up, and then Jay was like, "Yo, you can come to the show," and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right." He's like, "Yo, we got to make it a ProQuo show, not just the Jay show." I was like, "Okay, cool," but I'm like, I'm sure there's a lot of other people there doing their thing, whatever. I'm like, make it short and sweet, whatever. And they're like, yeah. I think people are doing like 3 songs each or something. I said, "All right, cool," but I said, just so y'all know, I'm literally leaving from Manchester as opposed to Somerville, which is adding on like another almost hour onto that.
Oh, yeah.
To go all the way back to Alexandria, Virginia, literally right after that show.
damn.
Because my son does homeschool, and with the COVID stuff, he's still home, his school, and my wife works from home. And she's like, "What time are you gonna be home?" I was like, if I leave at like midnight, maybe 8 in the morning. That's if I don't fall asleep. And so Jay's like, "Yo, depends on the sleep arrangement. Before that, I might have to get some sleep." So it's like I want to see every single person, but this may not be a great show for me to stay to the wee end. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Just wouldn't make that much sense on this.
Oh man, that's understandable. That's a long drive.
So we volunteer to open.
I told Felix today. I already told him, man. 9:30.
Yeah.
Easy.
I don't even it's funny. I can't even think of the last time I've done like a club show. I don't like do club shows anymore. Like I just, not because I have anything against it, just because.
Well, that would be the safe.
Well, they don't pay, but other than that,
the safe, right?
Yeah, probably. And
you know what's funny about that place is it is more like club. You're standing up.
Yeah.
With this, I mean, you can still stand up at this joint, obviously, but they got the chairs out now and they're like the lounge.
Yeah.
I like that lounge aspect of it,
MC-
You've seen it, Elton, right? They got all the chairs set up still.
I haven't seen it recently. No.
I was there like a month and a half ago.
Yeah, I haven't been there since the beginning of last year.
I tell MCs if they got their spoken word game on point, if they got their battle game on point, or they got their really performance like laser polished, like not just some dudes that get up and rap on the stage. No one wants to see just some dudes get up and rap on the stage to actually make money, So if you can do one of those 3 things, you should be taking your show on the road immediately, trying to get into, whether it's corporate shows, college shows, high school shows, festivals, anything that there is that's sponsored and pays. Colleges have crazy money. Artists, for whatever reason, don't do it and always complain that there's nothing in their local area. And there's not. I agree. There's not a lot of stuff in local areas, but it's like you gotta try beating down some of the door. Like it's either polish the act and be on point with everything that you say every single time you get on. No one's gonna knock it out the park every single time, but at least that's the goal, right? You don't get up there and you stand around with your boys and just rap on the stage. No one cares. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because the audio in most clubs is awful, right? The rappers want to eat the mic so no one hears you, right? The bass is too loud. So the only 4 people in the club that know what you're saying is you and the 4 people in your immediate crew. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like people wonder why they're not getting booked. It's like that doesn't do it unless you got hits that people are coming to see, And even major artists usually suck live because they got hits and they don't need to do anything.
The formula. Yeah. I got the Formula 1 race car for the solo act. I haven't figured it out. I wanted to do it with Pro and I, but we would need like a half-hour set to pull it off, I think. So that's not feasible. But a solo act, yo, the formula is just, I can't give it out because I want to show it first. I did show it before, but I want to show it again and kind of resurrect it, where essentially what happens is the people have no idea who you are in the beginning, but when you finish your last record, they want to know who you are. They're all about who you are. And it's by, you know, it's kind of removing yourself from the pack of what everybody else is doing. But like I said, unfortunately, I never had to think about that with doing it as a group, because the setup isn't, it takes a lot of work to set it up.
Yeah.
You'll like it a lot too, Elton, because you engineer. So that's the only reason why I mess with it, is because I engineer it. So when I show you this formula, bro, and I mean, you know, you might like it, might not, but I think you will. I'm talking about sound effects. This joint, like, you got your, I have my thing where I used to have this website. It was quotemylines.com. So in my set, you'd hear quotemylines.com and like sound effects coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like a full blown. And I was spitting like in 15 minutes, dude. I'd spit like 6-7 verses.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. But and it was like people, you didn't have no time to digest anything until I cut the set like halfway point, and I do acapella to like let it register.
Yeah.
And then go back into it, but it's like a head rush, you know. But yeah, it's cool. I planned on doing it, but then when I heard pros coming, I'm like, damn. So you know, we switched it up because we got to do our ProQuo thing for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yo, what's up, Freedom Corner Brand? Those my people. Yo, I know you liking that card too. So speaking of art, shout out to City Limits, aka J Money, aka Josh Silva, my brother, my little brother, like with the ER at the end, not the A, blood brother. And I was like, yo, I need you to do some artwork for me. And I might have mentioned this on last week's episode, but he's still working. I was like, I need you to do the whole IB Hood click, which was what, bro? 16, 20. It could be 20. Yeah, I started off with just Pro and I. He banged out. I'm like, dude, like, when the hell did you find time to do this? Because it was so quick. So I was like, you know what? Let me get a little greedy, and I hit him with like 10. I wake up the next day to a text message in my email, and this dude did all 10 that night.
Holy crap.
Like, yo, yeah, instantly. And then I was like, all right, now I'm gonna really take advantage of you, brother. I got 6 more to do. Whatever, 10 more. And he did it. And it's crazy, man. Yeah, we're gonna expose it. I think you could pull it up if you could. You?
Yeah. Give me a few. I'll get it up there.
Yeah, when you can, we'll put him on blast. And
I think we showed it last week because remember Don Juan was.
Oh, that's right, Don Juan.
So
Yeah,
some
exactly.
people saw that.
So basically, once we start broadcasting this out, if you want to get any of this art done for you to be part of the series, make sure you hit the ProQuo Show at gmail.com and say, I want a card. And then we'll tell you how to get that card for yourself. But anyway, it's going to be a fun-filled weekend. Pro and I, we're going to be meeting some people tomorrow. We're going to be getting some videos done, some photos done. Long day, but it's going to be a fun day because we really going to be able to just like collaborate at the highest level possible, you know, when it comes to everything. Because as you all know, we do the music, yes, we do the show, but it's so much more than all that. Yeah, look at it. He did all that in one night. Each one of them characters. And then he did that and he put that on the logo, and it was like, and now there's another 6 or 7 more to that.
That looks sick.
Man. Right? Yeah, so he's gonna do well with that. And it's what's great is like, yo, you could do anything nowadays as long as you know, my brother spent a long, there's a lot of man hours trying to get that detail down. He was into the WWF game or whatever, and he always was into the creative mode. I don't even think the dude played the game. He just created like characters for years, and he would draw them out. He would do logos. He'd do all these things. So look at what the skill has brought him after years and years and years of doing it. It's just like anything, you know. But he just, I was like, yo, where's the place, you know?
He banged out like another 4 or 5 because I saw the people in our chat there. They were like, yo, where's my picture?
Yeah, exactly.
They were like, we're like, I was sitting there humbly. So anybody in IB Hood checking it out, I was like, did y'all reply in here earlier? Because like I think we were looking for your picture.
Right,
it was like we can't do it. Man.
I just told him, I'm like, yo, the IB Hood Series 1 is the collective. It's the portfolio for you to show. Yo, this is what I could do.
Yeah, we got the magazine in effect. The comic book is already priced out. We're working on the comic book to go with it. Baseball card series with the whole thing, with all the stats on there, real official. Don Juan needs one, of course. I got the whole script almost done for the magazine based on lyrics that we say. So the comic book is essentially featuring each producer and each artist on the particular track going on a voyage, and it's kind of led by what the lyrics are. And so, we're trying to get these comic books finished and out. So, along with this stuff. So,
it's all, it's I showed, my brother did one of AB Money just because I felt like off of the strength of, what he's done for the hip hop industry itself, just by creating the music. I was like, do one for him. We sent it to him. Yeah, right. It came out so dope. And AB called me 5 minutes later. And we were on the phone for an hour talking amazing stuff. So it's like, yeah, Gary, for real. I gotta show you the AB Money one though. So this is the AB Money one. Can you blow that up? Can you make that big?
Yeah, that looks dope.
Yeah, there it is right there. That's insane, dude. He went in. But yeah, I think the art, especially with the NFTs and all that stuff, exclusive art, just different ways to work this new market, because it is a new market now, and there's a lot of baby markets out there still. So whether that's investing, trading, NFTs, I'm sure we're gonna find out about some more in the next couple months, because it's just so many things that are out there that us as artists can get involved in and start getting paid, whether it's it could be Spotify money or it could be decent money, but yeah, I like to just get people involved with wearing the merchandise, representing the brand with us, and supporting the movement of the brotherhood, because that's what it's all about. People need peace. There's the right way.
Crazy.
Yeah, the right way.
That looks insane.
Stop sharing our personal chats there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man. So listen. I said listen.
I think you're muted. Are you, or is it just my? What's up with me?
Yeah, I can't.
It's good because I'm hacking your name.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, listen. Tell them. I don't know if you did it already, but tell them what you do, man. Tell them, promote your stuff, man. If you haven't done so already.
Yeah. I produce beats. I engineer music. And I'm an artist myself. I don't always just rap. I mean, I sing, I rap, I do all sorts of stuff. But mainly right now, I'm just sticking to engineering and beat production. Just to kind of get my name out there a little bit easier.
Yep.
Definitely stepped the game up on the beats in the past couple months, so that's definitely working as a way better outlet now than I had expected it to. So
Send
now
me
it's just
a link in the private chat and of one of your beats.
Wait. Now listen, I got the prize to you in my
phone. Yeah.
You got it all set in your phone. You gonna share it?
He sent me a beat. No,
I see.
You want me to play that quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Send it to me through the thing, and I'll share it over here.
Oh yeah, you can play it through the thing. Play it through the thing. The echo's messing me up, yo.
How's that echo sounding to you, Willerton? Crazy or no? It's all right. Cool. Don Juan the Mac back there, chilling. I see you, Don Juan. So while he's getting adjusted there, I wanted to speak on that driving while you're tired thing. So I wrote about it in my book, but we used to drive to New York every single weekend in cars, and we'd sleep in them until Ski started letting us stay over, which was much appreciated. He was like, "Yo, are y'all sleeping in those cars?" We're like, "Yeah, we're sleeping in the car." He's like, "Yeah, you can, if you're here late, you can just stay over and bounce in the morning." We're like, "Yo, appreciate that." So one night we went to a show really, really late, and we bounced early, and we drove all the way back in a straight shot. You know, it was 2 a.m. And we used to always kid around that we'd see antelope and deer crossing the streets and the highway. I'd be like, oh crap, it's a deer. You know, and it was never a deer. It was just me getting tired. And but like only once or twice did we ever have any kind of accident mishap. Like I slammed my tire into the on 495 in the Lowell connector while driving a rental car, which indirectly led to me leaving Enterprise. I was a manager at Enterprise, renting all these cars, but didn't want to still be there. I was actually up for area manager. And at that point, you're kind of bought in. You're deep in that corporate thing with Enterprise. You know, I'm just literally renting cars because I want to take cars to New York City to follow up. You know, we started putting out records and stuff, and we're like, yo, we need a way to get to the city. I know, I'll become a rental car manager. So crazy story, right? So Fee and I, and then Fee started working there. And so he'd be taking cars all the time or whatever. So we were literally pimping Enterprise Rent-A-Car while getting paid. You know, I got paid a salary and Fee was making what he was making. And we lived together and it was paying our rent, right? So this was, talk about the hustle, right? So, but we were doing this every weekend, right? And the amount of times that we would just talk about unhealthy. I mean, we'd be sleeping in the car. We'd try to get like a car that had good space, but wasn't one that like my team would need to rent for like big money. So we couldn't take something super fly, but we tried to take something that was still okay, that wouldn't get broken into as well. That could, like, the seats would recline so that you could sleep at the parking meter, which we did all the time. I had a little song. If Fee's listening, he'll know. And before I was a manager, I was assistant manager when we started. I was a management trainee the first time they let me rent cars at a discount. It was 50% off of the insurance rate. So at the time, when you rent a car at an insurance rate, it's mad cheap. If you ever damage your car, you know, you wonder why, like, hey, how come I can rent these cars so cheap? It's because your insurance company is essentially underwriting that, right? And so, and the rent-a-car company knows you're a safe bet because your car is being fixed. They want the referral from your insurance company. And what up, Michael? They want that business. It's like a 30-day rental a lot of times when people rent a car for an insurance thing. So $30 a day times 30 is $900. That's a good deal when it's a nice clean rental. It's safe. It's not like somebody going to try to party. They're just trying to get back and forth to work, right? So that's why Enterprise is the biggest rent-a-car company in the country, and why they bought up so many of the competitors. So anyways, we would, before I was manager, I could take whatever I wanted. We'd try to find one that was like economical. So you remember those Oldsmobile Achievas? Remember back in the day? The Olds Achieva. It was kind of like the Skylark, which I called the Sky Pig. And the Olds Achieva, though, had a good engine in it. And the seats could really recline and they were comfortable. And you could get that one for $21.99. So $21.99, half off. It was basically $11, but they forced you to buy the insurance, you know, for yourself as an employee. So it was like, you know, and everything was half off. So it was like $14 a day. Normally you could start the charges the next day if you left like at the end of the workday. So if I left it on like Friday, let's say at 6 o'clock, I could rent that thing, come back in like Monday. And once in a while they'd only charge me one day, but normally it was like 2, you know, so you're talking like $25, right? So that's what we were doing.
To get to New York.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so do you want a bus or do you want a car?
Damn
straight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. So I mean, occasionally,
don't bang those rims up,
right? But exactly. So I, you know, banging that rim up on a Volvo, right?
Oh,
Slamming
no.
that rim up on a Volvo. It was hundreds and I had already buried insurance rental cases for my car preps who were like literally like feeding their family off like cleaning cars and stuff, and it was like sad stories and stuff. And my car prep banged up a car. Fee banged up a car on the first day. He was a car prep. He banged up two accidents on his first day, yo. So it was like, and that's when I was a management assistant. So anyways, all this stuff go to say that it's not always safe to drive when you're real sleepy. And that grind, yo, it sounds a little sexier than it really is. You know what I'm saying? Like that grind of, I mean, and we were recorded with legends, you know what I'm saying? Like, or performing with legends like every week. You know?
Like, stop lying.
And you know what I mean? And so, yeah, so it wasn't always safe, right, Fee, to be driving at 3 a.m. So Fee has reached out to me. He knows I'm here this weekend. He's like, yo, be safe, man. Don't be driving. Don't be. And
I was in Puerto Rico. 2 hours of sleep, 2 nights in a row, right? And we were doing this business where we would drive. Like I was trying to go the whole damn island, right? And So I'm so beaten. I remember, like, I had the music on, I had some coffee and all that stuff, and I was doing the nod, and those blackouts, I started noticing, all right, bro, I gotta like give up. So I end up giving the seat up to the 17-year-old girl that we got with us, right? And we go into Barrios Palomas, which is up in the hills. And I'm sleeping in the back seat, and I'm like, my head keeps hitting the damn door. I'm like, what's going on? I sit up after about an hour of sleep, and we're on this one-way road that's turning like a snake, and all left and right. And I'm looking down, and it's like a 10,000-foot drop, bro. And she's like this.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, we go. Yeah, so we pulled over. Man, I had to take back over, but I'll tell you what, it's nice. Even an hour sleep is fine though, but that refreshed me.
I'll tell you what, even driving today, right? Like, but the car must have been monitoring something, because all of a sudden it came on my dash and said, perhaps you want to take a break. And a picture of coffee came on my dashboard. I was like, yo, what's this? Because I guess it noticed that I was like swerving. And it really wasn't because I was tired. It was probably because I was fidgeting trying to grab
But
it.
also the fact that the car's been running for X amount of hours.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was time-based, but I was thinking I was a little
Swervy
So I
worvy.
was like, maybe it's us,
Yeah.
Because I had stopped not too long back to get gas, whatever. So I was like, I think
He left at
swervy.
10:30 a.m. and got here at 8:15.
Yeah, that's not a good time.
That's not. It was supposed to be here at 6:15.
And my phone is ridiculous.
Friday night though, man.
My phone is ridiculous. So it would, the whole time it wasn't like coming in. It was like spurts. Coming in, and then like Waze would die. And my car's navigation is good, but it wants to take the long way. And Waze, I always trust Waze. The unofficial sponsor is Waze, man. Waze,
I agree with. I haven't used it. I use Maps, but Waze. I've heard nothing but good things about that
Waze
app.
is Waze is wrong like once in a million.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because your car was what, 2 hours ahead?
My car was 2 hours, behind.
Behind, right,
My car,
right.
Yeah, wanted to take me 2 hours alone. Then it started agreeing with Waze little by little.
Says you're 5 minutes away.
Okay,
All right, we're gonna lose an hour.
Waze is saying it's gonna get there like 7.
Come on, bro.
And my car's saying 9:20.
Yo, you know what? Play that. Oh, yeah. See, that's what.
Save. Good save.
Look at that.
Reflexes?
That was spider flexes. You've been up all day. But play that beat, yo. Play that beat. Wait till you hear the affirmative action ringtone to this beat.
I think Miguel's in here. Miguel's
Bro.
in there. All right.
Yo, Miguel, what's up, brother?
Where's the beat? You sent it to me?
Yeah, I just titled it Illitant.
Where did you send it though?
To your email. Should have got.
It's in the chat, man.
It should be there, bro.
You're slacking on your pimping.
It should be there. It's
The
multitasking.
accommodations though, you're not slacking on that. You gotta say big ups.
Yeah.
This is looking. Can I move here? I mean, like this is.
This
like,
is a
this
spot. I told you, this is
place
legit.
crazy.
This is what's cool is this is my stepdad's parents' crib. You know what I mean? So he's grew up in this house his whole life, and what he did is he refinished the whole basement. You know?
You sure did.
Yeah,
We
and it's
gotta
a whole
walk
nother
around the
house.
camera and show people in a second. Hold on, I just gotta find it.
Yeah, I got a
You sent it
full
to my
applaud.
email, dog?
Illiton beat.
Dog, you sent it to my email. Can't be doing that. Oh, it's not a link though.
Oliver, what's good, bro? Oliver hit me on the messenger. My messenger open. We
You don't
live,
know
bro.
the links on this StreamYard world here.
Yeah, so the beat though, I heard it. I said, damn. I said I was trying to like even listen to it more than once, but it was so damn dope. I said, Elton, can you send this to me, bro? This thing was wild.
I know. I checked my message. I was like, bro, I messaged you like 6 hours ago with this beat. You've been listening to this the whole time.
I kept going. This is what I was doing because I was doing like 6 different things, right? So I was listening to the beat, and then I would do like 5 other things, and then like 15, 20 minutes go by. I'm like, damn, I gotta beat that one more time. Let me just go back. And then I'm like, let me pause. No, I don't want to get distracted right now. And I kept driving. I was like, I need this beat because I would just want to spend an hour writing. I wrote like 2 different things, and I think it was more like, let me see if what Pro hears what he thinks, because it's hot. I love it. I do. We got a couple people I think chilling in the back. No?
I was talking up a storm and nothing was happening because when I made that save, I grabbed the wires and knocked them out. All right, so I had to upload that to our system. You know the way I have to do all this crazy stuff.
I do.
Miguel, you see how hip hop we are over here? I see you in the back, right?
No, we lost you.
Totally
Mm.
not figured out.
It's all good. This is this is such a monumental day. That's why we said we ain't gonna we're gonna do last minute guest requests. You know what I'm saying?
Except Miguel, because I asked him.
Yeah, exactly. But normally we plan, we know like a week ahead of time, like definitively. And it was like, let's make this a fun, just like everybody trying to jump in.
All right.
Damn, tomorrow meeting my friend. Oh, good. No doubt. Talking to my cousin Catherine. We all know Kath.
Oh, I also shut down the audio.
We-
This is riveting. This is a riveting show.
It is. This is hey, authentic.
No,
Actually, let me send this message.
All right.
I know, right?
It's authentically not thought out.
Authentically, no, this is just
Authentically
real life. I'm sending a message to Kath.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, so Kath, we gonna be shooting a video and taking photos and all that stuff. So hit me up in the Ville tomorrow.
We see it.
You do share sound.
That was the problem. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going back on.
I'll be on the phone, with Pro. He's like, yo, I'm looking at this. I'm like, you check your car.
Hey, now, do you know what I have to do? I had to upload that to our system just so that I could play it.
Yo, keep this stuff.
Miguel's in the house.
Damn, militant.
Yo, that beat though. That beat though.
I can't hear him. We're from Massachusetts. Doom, ding. We're from Massachusetts. And it's interesting because y'all have a track where I'm like, yo, y'all made Massachusetts sound sexy. That's like the first time I heard Massachusetts utilized in a way that didn't sound funny. So I don't know if this is a part 2. But yeah, I like that beat right there for sure.
Yeah, so that's the man Illiton upstairs right there.
I appreciate that, man.
Thank you, word.
I kept thinking, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, it could just, and I know it's not really similar, like sonically, I don't know, but something about it just made me think affirmative action on that. And having, you know, Nas and AZ, like AZ intro on that.
Yeah,
something about it. I don't
relax,
know.
catch a contact, sip a cognac, and his soul wash his money through this laundromat.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I heard. I was like, bro. And that's why I had to keep checking myself all the time. I'm like, wait a minute, do I keep, you know, but the flow on it would be, that's the most critical thing, because you could walk your flow so much on that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was testing out a few flows on that beat myself, and it was like, there's just like so much space to do pretty much whatever you really want to do on there. Yeah. I mean, I was chopping on it, you know, it was just like slowing it way down to like some crazy slow patterns. Like, but I mean, it didn't really matter any way I did it.
The middle, like where I want to go with it is that it's the slow, but a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But like mumble twist as well. So it's like, I don't know. It's definitely a hard beat, and it's going to take some work. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah. So, hold up. Pro disappeared on us though on this time.
Yeah.
But yo, Miguel, talk to us about what just happened about an hour ago, which was incredible, what you was putting together, brother.
Yeah, man. So as you all know, Massachusetts has a lot of really great MCs, really on the underground for the most part. And obviously there are folks like you all who have been putting music out in the mainstream. And I wanted to showcase that with an event and also be able to sort of encourage people to get back to writing music and express themselves in a positive way. I work with a lot of young people, a lot of them, you know, who've been behind the wall for a long period of time. And we try to do hip hop classes and poetry classes to give them an opportunity to sort of express some of the things that they're kind of going through. Because a lot of them don't talk about, you know, their stuff, right? So today we wanted to handpick some of the dopest MCs. Pro was one of the folks, you know, from the state that came in to represent, and it took the title as he usually does in a lot of these battles and poetry slams. And we got to hear some young folks, some folks who've been doing it for a while as well. Some folks who've been doing poetry slams for the national poetry team. At the Cantab and also at Lizard Lounge. So there was a mixture of people from Cambodia to Palestine. It's just to show the richness of hip hop, right? Like I always say, as a person growing up in Dorchester with the history that we have with South Boston, hip hop music from Columbia Point to South Boston, that music brought those two communities together. These two communities, which was like locked down, one way in, one way out. If you're not from around here, don't come here kind of places, sort of lowered those walls when it came to having hip hop shows and having breaking parties and so forth. You know, shout out to the street workers in Boston who really helped, Magic being one of them, you know, rest in peace, Magic, who was able to enhance that sort of movement. And it really was exemplified, right? That it doesn't matter if you were from a war-torn country in Palestine or Cambodia or, you know, a city-torn like Dorchester. Yeah, man, like you know, like we all can relate in some way, shape, or form, no matter how we identify, right? And we all have our struggles, and hip-hop music sort of creates this space, for me at least, where we can all kind of like put our guard down and kind of like show each other love and support and relate to each other in that form.
That's awesome.
Very true. You know, I just recently been plugging into, I want to say 2 events that were evolved around poetry, a workshop, and then this last joint that we just did. It was not. I wouldn't say the last one was necessarily poetry, but it definitely was inclusive in it, you know. And I shied away from poetry for a long time. Like my high school years was the last time I touched it, and it was only one year that I actually had like a poetry class in school, and I excelled because obviously lyrics. And then I just recently, after this workshop, I was like, yo, let me try to write a poem again. You know what I mean? And I think I might have written one a year prior to that, but it was like, you know, just scrap paper. I never revisited it or anything. And I was like, man, this is real cool. Like being able to just be outside of the box and I have to worry about a beat locking you in. You know, your every word is a musical note kind of thing. And my thoughts were just flowing freely like that, you know. So I'm actually getting involved with it. So maybe next time y'all do the slam, you know, Cruz might jump on it with because I don't want to spit like, you know what I mean? Like my rhymes are dope. I could do that, but I feel like that's cheating because spoken word, like how Pro does it and how I was listening to these artists that you had on there speaking their poems, like that natural inflection and pauses and the you know, the off-notedness of it as like those thirds and beyond kind of thing where it's like, yo, stop for a minute. I'm gonna pick up when I feel like it kind of thing. You know, it's those little things that can make that same statement be 10 times more powerful when you know position it correctly. You know,
is this something too, Miguel, that you thought about just because you saw that there was a need, like in the community, or something that that you just wanted to do? I know this is National Poetry Month. Like, what brought it about?
Yeah, so I think a little bit of both. For me, I definitely wanted to see, you know, the environment for it, right? So as you know, I'm running my own business now called Quinones Culture Consultants, and what we do is with that we try to improve culture, whether it's at work, whether it's, you know, coaching, whether it's your home and your family, or whether it's the culture of hip hop, right? Like, how do we shift the culture that we have already existing in these three communities that we're calling the Valley, from Lowell, Lawrence to Haverhill? And I saw talent, but I didn't see like the heavy hitters, right? Yeah. Like, how do we get Pro Lyrical like involved? How do we get Yanni Collins involved, right? Like, how do we get Dima Faisal involved? And you know, this was my way of creating that so that we set the bar, right? Because I do feel like young people need that sort of space, and it's not here right now. That like naturally, and what happens a lot, and this is my thing about when people are trying to control hip hop, right? Like, you know, come to the show event, but don't come high. You know, come to the show event, but like wear shoes, you know, wear ties. Like, this is hip hop. Like, stop with the rules. Like, there's a reason why we have hip hop the way that we have hip hop, right? And it was because we were not allowed to go to these certain places. But the YMCA's, right? Like, shout out to the
local
Bronx,
rec center,
right? Like, they were the ones that created the space for young people to come in, however they came in, however they showed up, right? To participate and create. And what we see today is part of the evolution of what happened in that time period, right? That all came out of oppression, right? Because the reality was the Bronx was burning, right? There was nothing there for those young people, and if you remember the '80s, like it was a war zone. Like, I remember going to New York to visit family. Like, they were like, don't go outside, like don't go to the store, like don't try to be brave. Like, Boston was going through its thing, but nothing compared to New York. Like, it was serious. And I feel like this music encompasses that, right? And that's why in one of the promos I say the music of the people that grew up with a crack sack, right? Because
shout out to that promo. That was dope. You did a whole real video for that.
Thank you. Yeah, man. I try to do my thing, you know what I mean? And I love hip hop music. And I wish I had somebody coaching me. I wish I had somebody telling me, yo, this is how you do this. Is how, okay, so now you're going to do doubles. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these tips and tricks to the trade that, you know, was a huge secret growing up in the 80s and 90s. Like, nobody wanted to show you how to do rhymes, right? So I kind of missed that a little bit. And so my stuff is always a little bit raw. Is in between poetry and in between, you know, lyrics. But yeah, that was pretty much it, Pro. To really kind of create that space that I want for myself. You know, but I also know that young people want to have as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. I think that the scene in you know, you see the scene in Boston. You it's there. It's a little bit more active than it is maybe in the Merrimack Valley. But I think sometimes too, when you think poetry and spoken word, you kind of think like folk, in like a lot of these lower places, you have to go in some like folk place or some little bar or something that's not traditionally hip hop. It's kind of awkward, you know what I mean? And it's very rare when there's a place that actually is very welcoming to like the hip hop vibe. You see them looking two ways when the hip hop dude comes in or dudette, whatever, and it's not welcoming, so
right.
There needs to be places that are ran by, people that understand that culture. So it's you go in Boston, at least places a little more welcome. I mean, shout out to Fees out there too. I mean, we used to always go to Lizard Lounge, and this is the first place I ever saw spoken word. I was probably 17, 18 going to the Lizard Lounge. Definitely a teenager, and seeing Jeff Robinson Trio, I mean, that's how long they've been doing that, I wasn't a teenager 5 years ago, you know what I'm saying? So right. it was like that's been going on forever, you know what I mean? And I remember seeing that. I don't exactly know what year it was, but I know I was definitely young, and getting in there, just seeing the way they play with the sax and the way they did all that stuff, and then starting to investigate more. And then I started to be like, yo, I have to find more places to do this,
Right.
And we started out too the same way. MCs, we just go into any old place. We go into some place and just, hey, do you guys like hip hop? And all of a sudden we try to just jump on and bum rush the place and just have it be a little hip hop set. But there needs to be like a dedicated spots for it to flourish and places that people can feel comfortable. Like you said, the dress code has to be, there can't be any dress code for this kind of stuff. Just come in as you are. And then that's a whole nother ball of wax too.
But the people that run these places don't know how to work with the young people. And that's my
they don't want
beef.
to. I mean, a lot of them don't want to. That's not the clientele they want. So it's
right. They just want the culture, but they don't want the people that actually create the culture.
Yeah, they want the culture who can drink Ciroc or whatever. I said that wrong. Didn't I? Ciroc. Was it a cool C? Was it a hard C? Jay's my vodka consultant.
Look, I'll tell you, man. Miguel, what I love hearing about what you're saying too is that the focal point is on community and youth, and knowing that's where it starts, right? So like, just till recently, I couldn't really see beyond my needs with what I was going for, my goals, until I said, why am I doing this? What's the bigger picture? Is it my daughter? Is it? And then I realized it was I prefer in my soul to have someone that is actually going to be moved and pulled forward through like my positivity to help lift them up. You know what I'm saying? Camera. And that made me say, I would be inspired to wake up every day if I could help someone achieve their goal, even the possibility of doing that. That makes me feel good. So I really enjoy being around people like yourself that are just focused on the arts in us, right? But what else do we have to provide beyond that we can give? And that's getting the community and the youth on our side to say, yo, like, I'll listen to you, or I'll be involved with what you're doing because I feel your vibe. Like, I mess with you. Because I was the same way when I was in Low too, just chilling with these kids and trying to teach them how to do business and like do certain things. And like the level of respect I was getting from kids, I was like, man, they vibing with me. I'm not like the OG. You know what I'm saying? Like, they respect it. And it's because I respected them. And like you said, some of these people just don't want that young culture in there. It's like, yo, accept it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're not 21. You know what I mean? And that's outrageous. Start selling some Kool-Aid in there. You know what I mean?
Well,
exactly. Why not?
It's because they don't know how to navigate the culture, right? Like I could get 5 gangbangers from different sets, and we can have a cool ass night.
Mm-hmm.
Like no fighting, no nothing. And they'll leave, and 10 minutes later they'll be shooting at each other. Mm. You know what I mean? But they know that when they're in the presence of expectations, right? They understand that this is a safe zone. That drama doesn't come during this time. UTech does a really great job at this. Like, their spot is a safe haven. Doesn't mean the problems don't happen in there with the different sets that we have, but they have it down to a science where the young people respect that space. They know that they're not going to gangbang in that space, And that's the thing is, we have a lot of people that are in control of some of these spaces, and I'm talking about the Strand Theater, right? That will kick us out, right? Like we would try to do a show or something will happen. So then because somebody had a problem the show before, now you can't do your show, but you already did all the promo for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Some of the local boys and girls clubs in the YMCA's in Boston. You know what I mean? When people say, well, how come the Boston vibe hasn't thrived? Always because, you know, there's all these street gangs. Nah, it's because these places are too scared to work with the young people. That's really the reality. And even Biggie says it in one of his rhymes. Like, look at these older folks. They're even effing scared of us. You know what I mean? Like, there was this time period where, especially in Boston, like, people were just like, hip-hop music line, we're not having that here.
Oh yeah.
You know, even when you go to clubs, like, I remember, like, going to downtown, and I'm like, you're playing Air Force One. You're not going to let me come in with my Nikes, bro? Like, come on.
Oh,
Like, that don't make no sense.
I was in Virginia in 2010 maybe, or it could have been 2008, and it was so bad down there where they if you had any type of colors on, you had to park like 5 miles down the street and walk to the club. They would not let you park in the main facility. They had it posted on their damn thing, and it was a hip hop club, bro. But you know, that's how it was perceived that way because, like you said, it would be maybe a safe haven inside, but then as soon as they walked out down the street, someone's getting popped. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But there's a way of doing it. It's doable. That's my thing. Is like it's super doable if you create the space for it. If you create the expectation. If you go by the right way, you can't just be a Joe Schmo from out of nowhere coming into Lowell. Like I can't go to Lowell and you know, set expectations like that. Like I have to be welcomed. I have to be invited by the young people, and then I have to like pay homage. Like, hey, I know I'm not from here, but this is what I would like to do. Right? That approach helped me a whole lot. You know what I mean? Because the young people was like, all right, you ain't from here, bro, but like you with it. You know what I mean? Like they can like real recognize real, right? So they know like I ain't trying to put anything over you. I'm trying to help you. If you allow me to do that, you know, this is how I want to do it. Right. And then they'll have their ideas. And that's how I used to run my hip hop class over at UTech. You know what I mean? We had young people recording, and they were from different sets and all that. And I would tell them, I don't want to hear no gang stuff. I don't want to see no signs. I don't want to see, you know what I mean? Like, don't try to be slick during this time because, you know, it's going to put somebody. And when you're able to talk to people in a certain way, you know, things can definitely happen. And what happens more often is that people just rather shut it down and not give young people the opportunity. And then therefore they don't have these kind of chances to become really good at this art form, right? That is naturally theirs to begin with, right? As soon as you put on a beat, like what happens to a lot of the young people's bodies, right? Like they just start, you know, you hear them, and I don't know if this happened to you. Like music was always in my veins. So as soon as I'm in the cafeteria and I'm on a table, 10 minutes passes, I'm gonna be banging on that table.
Yeah.
Like if I have a pencil and I'm in class and I'm bored, like I'm gonna be banging on my book. Like it just lives in me. I can't explain it. I don't know if it's like that for you.
Especially when there's no other outlet, you know. And then there's no like the lack of music classes and the lack of, you know, or cool music classes even, you know, like a class that you'd really be excited about, you know, as opposed to learning about, you know, the Beatles on acoustic guitar, you know.
Look, I used to have air cancellation or noise cancellation headphones on before I even had the headphones on, kind of thing. I'd be in my notebook writing. That was it.
When did y'all start? Like when did you knew that music was going to be a part of your life?
Well, I'll tell you that when I was 3 or so. See, my great grandfather was a mandolin maker, and he was part of a banjo band and all that stuff. And we had the piano and, you know, all the instruments around. So I had that. And I wanted to be like a rock star first. And they used to call me that on the block back where I was in Melrose, a little kid. And I would act like, you know, I have the what do you call it? The tennis racket. I turn it around like a guitar. And that was. Yeah. Then in the 3rd grade or 2nd grade, I moved to Leominster. And that was the more, you know, the city, the hip hop influence, the melting pot of culture. And that's why I got thrown into. And hip hop became that. And I wrote my first rhyme at 7. And I knew it because I just couldn't stop doing it. That's all I thought about. And then as soon as I heard myself on record at like 11, I was like, this is over.
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I mean?
great.
I loved it. An obsession is where it really went, you know?
Dope.
I was my grandmother had an organ in the house that would sit on the top shelf that, you know, was like a toy organ or whatever. And this is like when Atari was out, right? And we didn't have Atari yet. And I was like, yo, I got to get that organ, right? Like I'd play it and I'd be like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. And then I remember asking my parents, I asked my dad, I was like, can I get a keyboard? And they were like, maybe. And then Christmas rolled around. I got this little tiny, it was like this Bee Gees Casio keyboard kind of thing. It was like this big. And then I got a bigger one for my birthday. It was like this big.
Do you remember the
and that was
drumsticks?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Dude.
yeah. That was later, dude. I'm way older than you. So it was like,
But I was still, for me, I was like,
no,
that was
wait,
my
but
first.
you know, I got, but so like I got that, and then I found out my aunt, she was like, oh, he likes music. Like she's like, I got a guitar, and it was an electric acoustic guitar, and then I started trying to figure out how to play that, and then before you know it, I had the keyboard had drum presets in it, and I still got them in my head. It's like dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And you could change the pitch and all that stuff, right? So I was like, yo, this was crazy. And this was like back in the day. So when I started, messing around trying to record the stuff on the tape deck and all that stuff, had a turntable,
Karaoke.
it was lending itself to hip hop. And then, hearing hip hop was like, my first rhyme was first grade, but it wasn't a rap. It was just a rhyme, and then alliteration and all that stuff. Leo likes letters, I was like, and just getting told I was creative early just was enough.
It was
I believe that was my
syllable
superpower.
Remember I was talking about that the other day too. That was when I started to fall in love with the wordplay was the syllable counting, but I wasn't into the writing. Like we would at the lunch table at like first grade, be doing the same thing. Someone would be putting the beatbox on or hitting the table, and we would all be going around freestyling. And I remember some of these rhymes, man, just so childish, like
But it's for me, it was getting the wax when we saw our wax when we were in high school. I mean, we had wax in high school. You know what I mean? So it was just like that was that record I was talking about on your show, Miguel. That record that we showed up on. It was Cole Medina, and it wasn't featuring Excal. It was with Excalibur. So I was like, yo, Cole Medina with it. We recorded at Newberry Sound in Boston. And we just, it was like the biggest thing in the world, and it was a big thing for
sound. Wow,
this was a big thing, you know what I mean? And dude spent like that to go record in there, and the record really didn't do much. It got played in like local clubs and local radio stations and stuff like that.
Though having that,
yeah. Now it's like I don't even have one myself. Fee got one, and you could find one. I was on Discogs the other day. It was like $200 or something like that.
Oh my goodness! So but that's dope.
Crazy.
Though,
yeah. I mean, he only made probably like 400 of them or something like that. But
I'll tell you, my great grandfather had the whole steel plate. You push the thing down. You put he had the whole deal.
Yeah, the lacquer. Yeah,
I wish I had that.
But what up?
We got, is that preacher?
We got I Am God in the place, man. We got
I Am God. What's up? You muted, brother.
Peace.
Yeah.
Just
I was on the highway, and all I could hear was you, man. My thing came in when you were on, and I was like, "Yo, this is official. I got to do this." So I got to hear you, and then it kicked me out, and I was like, "Yo,
yeah, your reception wasn't too good.
Dope stuff, man."
Yeah, definitely. I heard you, man.
What did you get to hear, Jay? Because you were in a different time. You know what else I got to hear? I got to hear the Numbers joint, and
the DMX one you was talking about DMX?
No. They had another. They had. I'm talking before I was here. There was a bunch.
Yeah, that Numbers joint.
People.
That Numbers joint was off the hook for sure.
I was like,
crazy.
Right?
Yeah, there's actually a part 2 to that.
Oh, okay.
But it's actually
with the
a part
2 arms,
2.
and he got I was like, okay, all right. That's what I heard. I tuned me in. I was like, yeah, okay, this is serious. So.
Yeah,
part 2. Do you know it? It's something you're gonna do for us?
Absolutely. Whenever you're ready.
All right. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm putting you on the spot. I Am God.
Yeah.
If I don't know how much time you're gonna give me, but if you want me to give the part 2, I can give the part 1 too. I could do the whole story.
If you fit in about 5 minutes, sure.
Absolutely.
All right, let's
do it.
Here we go. position my phone real quick. All right, here we go. It says, one youngin' rider thinking handling all beef is cool when this man got jumped by dudes, left his pride and ego bruised. Grabbed 2 hammers and 3 killers, they went hunting in the coop. Car screeching, shots flew, seeing 4 dudes in the group. The 5 seen him hit the sirens, chased him about 6 blocks. 7 shots from the passenger, slowed him when his 8 barked. 9 minutes into the chase, 10 cops had him boxed in. The driver let his 9 dump his man with his 8 popped his. 7 shots from the cops into the rear windshield. 6 hit the driver, leaving him slumped on the steering wheel. The 5 swarmed the car yelling, kill them niggas, clapped in. The youngest fingers 4 crazy, ain't really care who he hit. He looked around, his 3 men were dead and gone, opened the car door to surrender, waving his 2 arms. Now because his man got jumped, youngins facing the judge with Trump charges, dying before he complete murder 1. The youngin left 1 chick hurting with 2 young mouths to feed. She tried working but couldn't cut it, cashing in just 3 a week. Asked a girl about digits, knowing that she sees 4. Every night stripping with money range and dollars poor. Every 5 weeks later, her cash is up and the kids are right. She got a 6 to ride off from 7 regulars every other night. She got a call around 8 to come dance for 9. Quick something for my man. She said, I it's 10 to find. Dancing for a man, 9 had a different game plan because they was the people that would do her baby pops bland. 8 songs in and 7 laps, she's in the zone now. 6 dudes started getting extra, she wanted to go now. 5 minutes of that couldn't ready her for what's next. A gun was tossed to her and this was her last step. Her closet open, see her children sit, son. Said out of y'all 3, you have to pick one. Damn.
Y'all gotta pick one.
That's what I'm saying. Later.
I'm not gonna hold the flame. I'm not gonna hold the flame for 5 minutes, but
He did that. You just give it a couple seconds on it. You got it. Yeah, man. How long you been doing your thing?
I've been writing since what was that exhibit song? Sometimes I feel like it's all worth my style. Exhibits is versatile with $1 million lifestyle. I started singing that. Somebody heard it. They never heard it before. They thought it was mine. It's like, yeah. And I told them that wasn't mine. It's like, yeah, how you spit that, you do something.
Word.
And I was always an artist. Trying to just paint pictures however I can. It's therapy for me. I started writing to get out of my problems.
That's what I say too. Yeah. That's what I say.
Real
Same
dope
thing.
work, man.
I think it's so many people too. A lot of people won't even tell you that, and it really is. You know, it's like.
Yo, the chat blowing up, man. We have Freddie saying, wow, impressive. Oliver, holy, that was amazing. Mulatto Banks saying straight heat. They loving it, bro.
Yeah.
Please, I appreciate
Mulatto
it.
Banks, follow me at HEIRHER on IG. I don't even know how to say it. Hire her on IG. Okay. I don't know what you mean by that. Hire her. When I said it out loud, I was like, wait a minute, that might mean something else. Yeah. Freddie Dubs was good. That's good. Yeah, we're just trying to get some poets a little shine during National Poetry Month.
Fact.
Yeah, I'm God was doing his thing. Got to hear him. Yo, I didn't hear your intro though. Where are you from?
I'm from Boston. I reside in Boston. I'm everywhere.
Got you.
Try to be somewhere everywhere. I don't stay still. There's always a job to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier about how there's not as many spots as probably there should be. Out in DC, I was talking before, Jay. Remember, like, it's crazy. They got these places called Busboy and Poets. I don't know if y'all have been out there, but Busboy and Poets, they're a chain, and it's like, imagine the closest thing I can compare it to, and this is not a good comparison at all. Is like it's got like the size of a cheesecake factory, right? It's big. It's got like big ceilings or whatever. But it's this dude. I want to say he's Lebanese. Guy decided he was into like Langston Hughes and everything like that and poetry. And he's like, yo, I'm gonna open the spot. It's gonna be culturally friendly. They got like Middle Eastern dishes. They got like
It's in Boston?
No. It's in DC. They got, and that's my point though. It's not in Boston like it should be. Like they got like I want to say there's like 8 of them, and there's one right around the corner from me. You go in every night, and it's spoken word every night, and there's people do book signings there, spoken word poetry all the time. So I just roll out and just say, hey, I can go see a dope poet. Now, my own downfall, I've probably only been before COVID. I'd probably been maybe like 10 times. You know what I'm saying? And I've been in DC area for like 3 years, and change. And as you might have heard on the thing, I'm from here originally, but I got there and I couldn't believe the scene. It's just crazy. It's like everywhere. And little to my knowledge, I didn't even know. People started telling me before I went out, they're like, yo, the DC scene, you're going to love it. I said, why is that? They're like, it's probably the greatest spoken word scene in the whole country. And I was like, word? I had no idea. And it kind of makes sense. You get out there and you just...
Rick said the same thing. When I was talking, Rick, he was all out there too. He's like, yo,
crazy.
DC popping.
Yeah.
All artists.
So you meet someone, they say, oh, I'm a poet. It's not just like, oh, I'm a poet. It's like, no, this is a poet. You know what I mean? Like that's might be the primary thing.
The Barrels was even talking about it too in Colorado, where they were doing all the open mics and stuff
we
like
need
that.
here, man. We need that. Massachusetts needs that big time. It's like Lowell would be a great spot for it to emanate from too. But again, kind of like Miguel was saying, it's like if it's the wrong people running it or whatever, and the people that aren't friendly with the culture or whatever, it's not gonna happen. And you have to understand that urban poetry is not the same as poetry that's like in the countryside, because that's going to be like folk and it's going to be spoken word or whatever. Sometimes that old school mentality in Lowell still exists. They'll have like the artist lofts or whatever, and some of them are cool, and others are just like it's butterflies and all that stuff, and that's cool. But you can't just have all.
I think
butterflies
Detention was one of the ones that was kind of doing it where he was pulling in talent from
like something like Detention. So it makes a lot of sense.
That spot was safe.
Yeah, he's been there doing his stuff. Yeah, that's
good personality.
Yeah,
there was another spot too that I think was.
I did some for years there too. I did like spoken word. Like we did them at like Evos, and we did them at the.
What was that other one? Savannah or the
Savannah Club? Yeah.
Is that it? The one that's on the other side of Merrimack?
Yeah, I don't think that's the name of it right now though. But
that was a hot spot. But
yeah.
Well, that's the thing too, is like some people make it hot, you know what I mean? But and again, I think like if you get the right, like if you do it the right way, like when we do youth work with gangs, right? Yeah. We talk to the shot callers.
Right. Always.
Right? Like we don't just talk to the young people and just go up on the block. We find the shot callers.
Absolutely.
We're like, hey, this is what we're trying to do, is what we about. Yep. Do you mind if we talk to so and so? We get their permission.
Absolutely.
Because that's the way it flows, man. And people want to be all like, nah, like
that's actually, what's funny about that approach, as you know from being at UTech, that's the secret to education too. That's the secret to everything.
Right.
It's like educators don't want to relinquish power to the people that actually hold the power.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
look, understand respect in a different level.
Right.
Right. Like respect goes a long way, and people can just tell right off the bat. Like as soon as you start talking, whether or not you're going to be respectful or not, because it's all in your approach.
If that ain't the truth, I don't know what is, man. That is so true.
And so, what you're talking about, is exactly true. When you're in the classroom of 20. You find out which one of the young people is listened to the most.
Jay met one the other day, and it was a she up on. She came up on that college show, Marquita. My student, Marquita. She's the OG of my class. I've had her 3 times, and totally coincidence.
Big personality.
And she runs the show. She runs that room. She's the OG. She runs that. Everyone knows she runs that class, and and she does spoken word. And so, like, I'm the advisor for our spoken word thing, and I was like, yo, Marquita, what do you think of the spoken word thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you think you want to come out and do this? Or what's your vibe on it? She's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell everybody in the class they need to come do it. You know what I mean? So you don't have her blessing. It's, it might not happen, So you got to find those people that kind of know the vibe and the pulse of wherever they're at, and that have that respect of everybody around them. And same way you teach in class, you don't teach to the people that already get it. You have to teach to the people that are on the fringes, that are deciding whether or not they want everybody to even be in a situation where academics is cool right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if academics are cool, you got to get through to that person.
Include them in the process. Well, what do you want to see? This is what I want to do. How do you want to do it? You know what I mean? Because then you can have a respectful atmosphere.
Yep.
Because that's the other thing, is some of the atmospheres that we have are too hostile. And they don't last long because of that. You know what I mean? But that's because nobody is really running that in the way that they're supposed to. If you set the tone in the culture, people are going to be respectful. You know what I mean? But then you have other places, especially when you have too much out going around, you know what I mean? Then people don't know how to act. They see a fly lady and they like want to comment 100,000 things, and it's like some guys ain't having that. You know what I mean? But if you catch it early, you set the tone, you set the expectations. People know. People will go about that, and I just feel like there's this sort of like like this vibe of like, oh, people in the hood or people in these environments can't handle X, Y, and Z, and it's like it's not the case at all. Like that's the picture that the media likes to portray.
Yeah.
I am God. I liked a lot of your pieces because I feel like you touched a lot upon that. You know what I mean?
That's exactly
too,
my aspect. I see the brother here speaking about schools. I also teach before pre-COVID. I was teaching at the at-risk schools, alternative schools, you could say. But I was not really doing music or poetry. I was focusing on art. Different, like I said. But the same thing you were saying is it's about getting to the ones that got that magnetic. Who's attracting what?
Right.
Whoever got that piece attracting that, all right, that's what you're running.
Absolutely. Yo, do you know
different people?
Do you know Nomadic? You ever heard of her? She's in Boston. We had her up on the show. She's a promoter. She does spoken word joints all the time, and I'm assuming once this gets back, she'll be throwing her stuff. She did stuff at the Milky Way for years. Both Milky Ways.
It sounds familiar. Familiar.
Charlie Rose.
Yeah, she was a DJ up in 88.9 at Emerson for a long time. And she goes by DJ Nomadic these days, but she still throws a lot of spoken word joints. And it's like her place it's all love. You know, you go in there and she's hip hop all day. You know what I mean? So it's but she's a poet. You know what I'm saying? But you have to. She's a hip hop DJ. So everyone knows, Nomadic spot's going to be cool. Like I'll go by whenever I can. I really started doing my poetry much more because of her spots. You know, like I said to you guys earlier, I'd go to these jazz clubs or whatever and just go in and, these places in Cambridge, Boston, Cantab, all that kind of stuff, right? I lived right in Central Square for almost a decade. And, you could just kind of wander in. But it's one or two spots, It's not like a systematic thing that they have in other cities, So that's the thing that would be crazy. As a model, I mean, you look at DC. I mean, it's this beautiful restaurant, and regular hours, you just go there. People have like business lunches there, whatever. It's nice. It's kind of like a Cheesecake Factory, except it's way more culturally relevant to the city. And at night, turns into it's a spoken. Everyone knows it's spoken word. And Busboy and Poets is basically named after Langston Hughes. So it had to do with his poetry, and so it's like it's in honor essentially of Langston Hughes. So the name will right away makes sense. And you go on there right now. I mean, I should pull it up here. You go on, there's a calendar of stuff. I'm sure the calendar's not looking the same way it normally would.
Hey, bro, Mulatto Bank said it's pronounced here.
All right, got you.
Yeah,
cool. Well, we hear that.
We definitely hear that.
We gotta bring a group to Washington, man.
Yeah, man. Check this out. Check this out. I pulled up the Busboys thing. I just did a Google search here. Look, this is Busboys and Poets. Wait till you see is like just the deal they do. So this is Busboy and Poets. Curated events, powerful poetry for the soul. Order online, events and catering, gift cards, bookstore, locations, online store. I mean, this is the real deal. You know what I'm saying? Here's the locations. So this is 14th and V. That was the first one that I ever went to. And you see what it looks like a bookstore, right? Because they got books of all like progressive activists and stuff like that.
Wow.
And so I mean, there's a ton of locations. So these are all the locations that are in and around the DC area right here. So.
Yo, Mike LaPonte, but he been getting promoted like crazy. Is he a sponsor?
Yeah, man. So anyways, when they're up and running, they got the whole calendar of stuff.
That thing's crazy, man.
Yeah, event list. Look, check this out. I don't know what they got going on right now with COVID, but look at all this junk.
Mm-hmm.
Open mic on the patio. Open mic hosted by Simply, and you just read it, you see who it's going to be, and then people just go up, and it's always open mic, and they have people feature. And I mean, I featured there a couple times, and Orville the Poet, he's dope. But they only pay you like a couple $100 or whatever. But hey, it's a.
Every city should have one of these, like hands down. You know what I'm saying? Every city.
Yeah, it blows my mind that the state of Mass doesn't have anything like this. When we are
Cambridge,
so prideful of like how much education we provide.
Yeah,
and,
that's what I'm saying. You got like
first
Harvard
and
and MIT,
everything.
right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It just shows you like where the heart is, really in this state. You know what I mean? I always said it all the time. I never understood why I was going to a failing school at Dorchester High, and we have the smartest people in the world right in the red line as I do.
Yeah. Hey, you know why? You know what I always say? Boston's a great place to live if you're white. It's a wonderful city if you're white and like the Red Sox and like hockey, and that's what it's made for. It's college. It's college fraternity kind of.
That's real.
It's very real. And people don't like to. I say it all the time. People don't like to admit that. It's like Boston is like real Boston, like behind the scenes. We know what Boston is, but Boston, the front street of Boston, what Boston is promoted as. Boston's promoted as a white city, and it's not a white city. It's just promoted that way. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, look at Harvard, look at the Common, and you see no people of color at all, which is an inaccurate representation of the actual Boston,
Ready for a fun Massachusetts fact?
What's that?
Massachusetts was one of the first northern states to adopt and accept slavery, and actually the first one to abolish it from the North at the same time.
That's a dual record, yeah, man. Yeah, that's not a wonderful claim to have, but it gets all the props for like, hey, look at the abolitionists, look at the Freedom Trail, hey, right?
Mm-hmm. And the last school system to desegregate.
Yeah,
right.
And it's still one of the most segregated cities in the whole country. It's like,
if you look at it now, I don't even recognize my city, bro. Like,
that's a whole nother
mad
thing.
Different. Like, you want to talk about gentrification?
Yeah, gentrification is on and popping. My brother-in-law lives in Dudley. We were gonna go there tomorrow and do a photo shoot, but he's out of town. But Dudley, have you seen Dudley lately? He's lived there for like 15 years.
Nubian Square.
Yeah. I think he might be the only Nubian person in there. Like, it's like his whole building is like.
Listen, when they first said that they were gonna put the school, what was it, the school building, the Boston Public School building in Dudley, I was like, what are they planning? Because I know they don't want to be this close to parents. Like, I know they don't want to be this reachable to parents from
it's
the
gonna
community.
Be different parents. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
Well, boys, I think it's that time when we shut down. We got some work. We got to get prepared.
We do.
We got a long day tomorrow. We got a long day the next day. And we definitely want to thank Miguel. Thank you very much for coming up here. God,
Absolutely.
great work, man. That poem was real dope, brother. We definitely want to have you up here. And but also, Miguel, we got to get back on that Sunday.
My man Jez in there. I just saw you, Jez. Shout out to Jez.
Yeah, hit me up with that info. I'll let you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Jez, you got to come in, man, and be a guest one of these times, man. When you going to come up, hit me up, man. We'll have to have you up here. Give you the code. Jump in.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Mad love, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We didn't even mention Shock G. That's how crazy we were. Yo, peace to Shock G, man. That's crazy. Didn't even mention. That's crazy.
Every week, man, we're losing somebody.
I know, man. I know. It's to the point where it's like, I saw the post earlier today. People talking about you don't even want to check the mail. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we've been running, man. We haven't even, but.
I remember watching the digital.
Let's do like 56, 57, 50. Something like that.
Probably. Yeah. Crazy, man. You just don't know when your time is gonna get called. You just gotta live.
Especially now. Especially the way the world is right now. It's just insane. But it seems like it's disproportionately right now. I guess it just feels disproportionately rappers right now, but and young rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like people that should have 30 more years of quality life. You know what I'm saying?
I know, man.
But especially, you always think once people make it. You know what I'm saying? Like life's gonna be good, and they'll, health will be, but it's not always the case. So
it's all lessons, though. Especially with DMX. I mean, I was hearing positive things on the flip side about, raising awareness for drug addiction and stuff like that. Like, everything happens for a reason, and sometimes we may not know right then and there, but it's waking us all up. Right? Health is important. Look at who we just with Cavern. That whole seed thing. Yeah. Just starting with what you put in your body. You be a vegetarian. Like this is all moves in the future. You know, these little things about health and longevity. We're gonna learn that hey, what we put in our bodies, you know, we gotta start checking on that.
Can I just add on before y'all close to that the DMX part, what y'all saying, like the drug addiction and things too. Aside from that, if we find out how he even got started, we got fathers watching kids, mothers. We got to be parents for our kids. He started by somebody he emulated that was older than him when he was a young boy. That slipped him a mix.
Yeah.
So
and he fought it his whole life.
His whole life was downhill after that. So we gotta watch.
Spectacular point, man. Spectacular point. The root of it all, right? You know, and it starts with the hip hop culture, educating the youth and grabbing a hold of their ears, man. Their souls.
Mm-hmm. It may not start with it, but it certainly can end with it. You know what I'm saying? It can be. It's funny too. Before we get out, one of the first rap shows that I ever went to was in Shaughnessy Projects in Lowell. It was a Rap Against Drug show, and man, I don't know. I have to ask Fee. I think we were probably 16, and it was like Grandmaster Caz kind of stuff, you know. It was like people like it was like one of those kind of shows, and but it was like people getting high backstage at the Rap Against Drug show, you know what I'm saying? And like the Rap Against Drug show, and
that verse was gonna be about
people smarking up, yeah, exactly. And it's like that was at a time though.
I don't do drugs. That's my weed.
That was that whole don't do drugs era, you know what I'm saying? That was like promoted, and it was like meanwhile people getting locked up left and right, you know. It was like that time, and. But it was funny because I came at the right time, because in the midst of seeing people high everywhere, drunk, doing, getting locked up, shooting up, everything, right? Crack was huge. It was just like, I thought that was the wackest stuff, because you see people die, get locked up, right? And then you get the message in the ear from rappers telling you at that particular time, before it became totally different, where everyone had to spark something.
And then it makes you think,
as a kid, I'm like, yo.
I know, bro.
I'm like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. Like,
well, you know what? So I think that what I've heard from multiple people, and actually even with DMX too, is that it was laced in some weed that he was smoking. And that's where it started. And I kind of believe that when they're putting the dust and all that other stuff up in there, and then they'll, it creates that fiend. It's sad. It really is. But
yeah, we lost a good one right there, man.
Yeah, man. That was my inspiration.
I listened to a lot.
Yeah. So again, for another event, this is a very, very interesting ProQuo show tonight.
Yes, it was. It was, man. Well, it's good to be here, and we got some stuff to get done.
The intro to the show, I think I whispered for about 15 minutes for the first time. Yo, he's performing right now. Hold on.
I was on this mic. Well, actually, I didn't have this mic set up yet. I was still going through the
you can hear something.
Hey, we appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for coming out and supporting
the
work that we're doing. I am God. Thank you so much again, man, for coming on and
Sundays,
doing your thing, brother.
Sundays, you know who to check out.
Yeah, Sunday dinner, 7 o'clock.
I'm there.
Man, Miguel, I'm preaching.
5 to 7, right?
It's 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. We're doing some revamping, so I'm not sure if we're going to get started.
Wait, no.
It starts at 7.
Starts at 7. I'm sorry, my bad. Starts at 7. You threw me off because I went looking and I was like, "Where'd you guys go?" So now I'm all confused, man. I'm all.
We are revamping the show, so we're making some changes, and we want to make sure that we're all on the same page before we start doing it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo, and Preacher Rhyme says, "What's up?" His wife has been with his kids all week, as you already know. He got a couple. So
Preacher kicked the ill rhyme tonight too.
He just started. Yeah, he did. He just started a new job too with UTech. He got a new role where he's going to be doing some work behind the wall. You know what I mean?
That's major.
That's been his week. So as soon as he was done today, he had to get back to his family. You know what I mean?
Director Preacher
first,
Rhymes.
always.
Director Rhymes, because does he call himself Director Rhymes?
I don't know, but that might be a good name.
That's everybody.
Yeah, we need to do it. We need to do a collab, Professor Lyrical and Director Rhymes. That just sounds like very corporate.
And he is a preacher, though. You know that, right?
I know that. That's crazy. Yeah.
This got anointed actually not too long ago.
Director Preacher. Maybe that's that.
Maybe.
Preach around.
We'll see what's
that's a
up.
hot name.
But I appreciate your support overall, man. Thank you.
All right, y'all. Likewise.
Peace out, brothers.
All right, take
We'll
care.
see y'all.
Be easy.